Outside. All right. Hello. My name is Ethan Garcia. I'm with Dot Esports, and my question is for Cowrie. So, regardless of today's outcome, what were your expectations for yourself heading into the match? And do you feel that the expectations that you set for yourself were met, exceeded, or you still kind of feel that you have a little bit more to prove?
More. I don't think was the expectations. I thought which are we could win massive. 3-1 both teams. Accurate. And
Next question.
Hey guys, Jay Silver here from Game Elevate. My question is for the coaching staff for both Rigby and Turtle. With today's loss, you guys will be heading into the playoff stage in Mexico City. Without giving anything away, what do you think is going to be the most important thing to improve on to face off against some of the teams and plans?
I mean, like you're going to Mexico, and then it's like not so like safe. You're probably gonna just stay in hotel, like practice like a lot. Then I think the meta on World is gonna be like far different compared to like NA. So like just adapt from it, and then like going for what we think for the planes.
And one more thing, it's good for us to practice with more with Kaori too, for him to get used to the team and how to communicate with each other. So yeah, pretty much that.
For EG, just a note when answering, if you could pull the mic a little closer to you, it's a little quiet right now. A remote question. With Worlds on home soil for the first time in 6 years, how excited are you to have a home crowd advantage? And do you have any expectations for the New York City fans, which tends to be the rowdiest in the world? This was not directed at anyone, so I'm going to arbitrarily choose Vulcan.
We're playing in Mexico first, so I'm not thinking about New York yet because plans are actually not that easy to make out of this year. So we actually need to take it seriously, and I don't think we have home advantage in Mexico. So, but if we make New York, I think I'll be hyped to have a home crowd and have the team cheer for us louder than the other team. So hopefully we make it.
Robert Haynes of the Game House. This is for Inspired. You just won your second MVP. How does it feel to have an MVP in 2 different regions in 2 different years?
It's pretty good, honestly. Just pretty good.
This is Germ with I Am Germ. My question's for Jojo. So obviously you haven't shied away from like trash talk with the EU teams, EU fans, all that stuff. But lately we've just been hearing about like 0-6 at MSI and all that stuff. So now going into plans, there's going to be 2 EU teams. I guess what do you have to say to the EU players, EU fans headed into Worlds now?
I mean, they're not G2, so I think G2 is like much better than the teams that are going. I think it's like Mad and I don't know who, Rogue or Fnatic, I don't know, but I think we'll be much better against them. Yeah.
Question from remote media. This is for the coaching staff. What are your expectations moving forward to the play-ins, where you will face teams like RNG and Fnatic and even others like Detonation Focus Me, which put some kind of a fight against C9 last year?
I mean, like I'm pretty excited that like play-ins like actually like for this year it's gonna be like a real deal. Every like last seed like that comes from like major region aren't like weak teams, and then going out of it would be like huge asset for us. And then like if you just prep well and then play well and then get out of play-ins, I think like there's like much more that we can look after. So I'm pretty excited for the play-ins.
The same.
Hey, Michael Termini with the Game House. This one's at Rigby. Unfortunately, I have to ask it. Who should fans be expecting to start in the ADC position for Worlds?
Kaori, I think. As of now, like Danny's just having like a well-needed rest. And then even though it was like short amount of like practice, we had like good time with Kaori. So like we're confident like whoever's coming. But like for now, Danny's taking rest. So I'll say Kaori.
Hi there, this is Nick Geraci. My question is for Vulcan. Vulcan, you guys had a pretty competitive series today. While it wasn't the result you wanted, you were able to push it to game 5 with a roster you've had, I assume, less than a week of practice on. Overall, how did you do compared to expectations in this series? And what do you think this roster, if this is the roster we see at plans, needs to improve on most before those matches?
I don't think individually I played very well. I think as a team we had good moments. I think Kaori played very well. Even though you'll say he played bad, I think he played well. And I think especially game 5, I could have lain better and punished the Soraka pick more, but I didn't. And then we had like no pressure because of that. And other than that, for plans, I think the biggest thing we need to work on, as Turtle has mentioned before, we need to get more reps in with Kaori. Obviously, it's not easy to just jump in and play after it was like, I don't know, not even 10 scrims. So we'll have to get on the same page more and I guess just not int. We had a few ints in this series. So, yeah.
This question is for Impact. Impact, reflecting on the split, what do you think were some of the glaring weaknesses that prevented the team from winning back-to-back titles?
That doesn't work. Oh, okay. Why we lost? We're just worse than enemy.
I think he means coach gap.
Oh yeah, kind of coach gap. I picked Sion, so it's coach gap.
This question's for Inspired from Travis Gafford of Travis Gafford Industries. Inspired, who do you expect to take tomorrow's match?
I think Cloud9 will win, and I think it will be like 3-1 if 100 Thieves will manage to win one game.
Jay Silver from Game Elevate once again. I have a question for Impact. Impact, this is your return to Worlds after not making it for the past year and a half. Being a former world champion, what do you think of the current top lane pool of players that are going to be attending Worlds 2022? And how do you think you'll stack up against some of them?
Oh, wait, let me think. Nokuri, Kingen, wait, and Zeus is the other one. Wait, Doran, right? Yeah, I mean they're all pretty good lane pace and I don't know. I mean, I need to win playing stage first, so I cannot say that I can beat that top laners. I mean, I have pretty confident. Let me think. I mean, win play stage first, but they're pretty good. That's right.
Question for Kaori. What are some of the biggest things you learned from your first series on the big stage?
I mean, I don't know how to answer this because when you learn something, you don't see it like, oh, I learned this. You know what I mean? Like obviously, playing in front of crowd was a good experience, and like some of in-game plays I did learn, but like I can't say what I learned. It's hard to say.
This is Digon for face check, I guess. Jojo, you had a much improved playoff run than I think the regular season. What clicked for you, if anything, specifically here in the playoffs, including today's match?
I don't know. I mean, I think usually the other team plays worse in playoffs too. Especially today, I think he was like shaking or something. I can tell in game because he was playing pretty badly. But I feel like in playoffs, players are usually more nervous. So I don't know. I just feel like it's easier to exploit them. So yeah.
Henrique Demore here for Daddy Sports. Question for the coaching staff. Obviously, it was a very short time you guys had to scrim. Take me through kind of what the goals were as soon as you knew that the bottom lane had to be changed. Was it more about adapting Kyrie to what you guys were doing, or learning about what Kyrie's strengths were and then formulating a game plan around him? Or is it not even fair to think of it kind of that binary?
Oh, like honestly, when we were with Danny, like he had like his exceptional like champion that he played like so well. So we were trying to like adjust to like his preference. But with Corey, like we were actually going for what we think is right, like generally, not just in NA, but like in the whole region. So it was like pretty exciting experience for me. And then like the expectation was like actually like winning finals. I kind of fucked it up today, so that's my bad.
This is Jerm again. I have another question for Jojo. So obviously MSI was your first ever international tournament. Now you're getting ready to head into your second one. What did you learn from MSI, or how are you going to prepare for Worlds differently? Do you feel better prepared for this now it's your second one, to hopefully, perform better this time?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think I'll play better this Worlds than at MSI. I've said a lot that I learned a lot from MSI versus, the best mids in the world. So yeah, I think this time it'll definitely be better.
Question for Jojo from Remote Media. Are there any players in particular that are you looking forward to playing against in Champions Queue?
RGS. No, but I mean, probably Chovy, because I never versed Chovy before, even in Korea and even like in MSI, obviously. So I've never versed him before. So yeah, I would like to verse Chovy.
Question for Vulcan. What are some of the differences between Danny and Kyrie's play styles and tendencies that you've observed so far?
I think Danny is more happy just like scaling for the game and just going even and trying to farm as much as he can and playing for team fights, whereas Carrie will try to play more aggressive in lane and try to build a lane from minute one, and just like a more aggressive play style in general.
Any other questions from in-person media? All right, we'll call it there. Evil Geniuses, thank you for your time.
Thanks for the questions.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Evil Geniuses LCS press conference after finishing third place. They will now go on to play in the group stage at in Mexico City against the LCK 4 seed, the LPL 4 seed, the LEC 3 and 4 seeds, with only four of those five teams making it out. So that is it for me. I'm not going to be streaming the rest of the night, and this will be clipped out once I edit everything down to just the main press conference itself. Thank you all for tuning in. Nick, I will see you tomorrow at OSNYC, and I hope everybody has a phenomenal evening. Adios.